The UFC has had Brock fail again. Chad failed 2 years out. Not a good time for them, but they've got a card coming up with an absolute stellar fight. Home Shevchenko. Looking forward to this. And also, we'll have a quick look at Bellator that happened in the UK. So listen up.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are live from the Isle of Man in the UK. This is John and Mike's MMA Corner.
Okay, Mike, like I said before, Bellator happened in the UK. Some people said it was a success. Some people said it wasn't a success. It was an optimal time for Bellator to make an absolute stamp with that event. UFC wasn't on. Everything was really quiet elsewhere. It was a good opportunity for them. I don't feel they took the bull by the horns and got the most out of this.
Yeah, I mean, when you mention Bellator, yes, they have to be the number 2 playing second fiddle to UFC. You know, so they are up there. And yet we were still asking questions on the night of, well, how do I watch the prelims and stuff like that, you know? And things just weren't clear, and, you know, it still seems to be, there's missing that attention to detail, you know. Don't get me wrong, some of the fights were good fun, but it just seems that the whole production of it just seems to be just missing something.
And the attendance was a big blow. That's because they overpriced their tickets by an absolute fortune. They were charging more than the UFC do. I just couldn't get my head around that one.
Yeah, it's crazy. I've been to 2 UFCs at the O2 and countless boxing nights. I'm lying there. I haven't been to as many boxing nights. I'm getting confused. But anyway, and yeah, it wasn't even close. It was a lot more expensive for Bellator.
Yeah, it was, like I say, the big story that came out of it, the thing that got the clickbait, got everyone drawn in, was Michael, the MVP, sorry, because that's how he likes to call himself. MVP, kind of starching Cyborg with that flying knee. Now that was, you know, he was very smart with his marketability. Did the whole Pokemon thing, which is going on right now, that Pokemon Go bollocks. If you're a virgin or you have the mind of a 7-year-old, you'll be doing that right now. But yeah, this whole Pokemon Go thing, he used that very well. Rolled that ball to him or whatever it was. But the thing is, the aftermath, which we found out afterwards, Cyborg taking a photograph of himself in hospital doing a selfie, indentation in his forehead, cracked skull.
And actually, his ex-wife posted it. It was his ex-wife that posted it, which is Mrs. Cyborg.
Yeah, she was posting it to kind of get people to start a GoFundMe account, etc. Because obviously, and he, you know, Bellator. Look, Bellator would not oblige at all to pay any medical bills because that's something they don't do. They don't do like a health insurance kind of thing. But the thing was, like, I even tweeted about it to Bellator. There was a lot of people online saying, "Hang on a minute, Bellator better be looking after this, etc." And they did eventually, like day after or something. Oh, they're going to pay the bills. Like, look, I'm being funny, guys. You shouldn't have had to wait a day. You should have straight away, as soon as you found out what was going on, you should have went, we're going to look after him, we're going to cover it. Because, look, that is not something that's often happening. Now, people say, that people should stop flying knees, etc. Look, that is a freak accident. That's a freak moment.
How many knees have been landed since this?
How many times do that again? How many times MVP do that again?
And knees are landing all over the place. You know what I mean? It's not just in the in MMA. They're landing in contact sports.
Yeah, and it was a case
and this injury doesn't happen. I mean, I can't remember it happening before off memory.
And it was a case of Cyborg momentum going this way and MVP's knee going that way. So
yeah,
it was that. If Cyborg had been here static and MVP had thrown it, that impact would not have been to the magnitude it was. You know, the fact that he was down and he went into it was what brought that on. It made it a lot stronger.
Definitely.
Aside from that,
it could be a career ender though. That one, just just to say.
No, he'll be back no. Cyborg said he'll be back in 6 months.
Yeah, I know what he's saying, but...
And look, Paul Daly lost to Lima in a fight that was okay, wasn't great. It was very smart from Lima. Lima was happy to be back fighting again more than anything. The fact that he was injured in his last bout. For Paul Daly, it's a bit of a blow, that one. It's again, he's on the cusp of a title, like a world title for a legitimate promotion. Falls short.
Yeah, it's and he got dropped as well.
Yeah,
just seemed to be, like he even said himself, just that little bit behind all the way through, like, you know. But the good thing is he's very marketable. He's exciting to watch, you know. So his road back probably wouldn't be as long as, say, a different fighter's road back.
I'm not sure about road back. It's just that Bellator don't have really a lot of fighters, so it's not hard to get.
Yeah, he wouldn't have fallen far.
You know, the Koscheck fight now looks a lot more appealing than it did before because of this result. That's probably the only fight out there for.
Yeah, and they'll still look to make that fight.
If he'd won it, they wouldn't have, because the winner was going to get a title shot. That one, you know, I think it suits both parties. Now, that was, other than that, you know, UK fighters were on the card. They some won, some lost.
I was going to say, I just want to say, hats off to Ollie Thompson. He fought out of his skin and gutsed it out against Matt Mitrione and landed quite a few good shots himself. You know,
I question how hard Matt Mitrione has been training though. For these fights, when these
quick turnaround as well. Yeah, very quick turnaround for him.
When he's fighting lesser opponents, i.e. Ollie Thompson and stuff, people like that, it's how much is he pushing like as he was when he was in the UFC? When he knows he doesn't need to? Like he knows him.
He also admitted that he had underestimated him. And, you know, when somebody is kind of on the local scene, you know, and you're coming in from the UFC, you know, only your second fight outside the UFC, yeah, it doesn't matter how professional you are, you probably will overlook someone to a certain degree.
Yeah, he did. But, yeah, Ollie did all right. He was a good punch bag for a bit. I've never thought he was going to be anything anyway in MMA scene. He was a strong man. He came over, and it is what it is with Ollie Thompson. Yeah, other than that, there wasn't any standout moments really like that to take from that weekend. Let's go on, though, Mike, to Brock Lesnar. So he failed his
Sad
test.
News.
Well, he failed his first.
He kind of made the heavyweight division kind of sound a bit more fun. You know, he added a little bit more.
Well, he only agreed to a one-fight deal, as in
I know.
He was contracted legally to the WWE, and they let him go for one fight. So there was nothing to say he was going to come back again anyway. You know, he might have just had that one fight, that 2.5.
I mean, we can only speculate now because, you know, obviously
probably
2 years out now.
Yeah, there isn't any. They still need to clarify. Because if they say it was from a tainted substance, let's say, or it's from an inhaler or whatever, if he can prove this true, then the whole game changes. Same with John Jones. But it's one of them ones where he failed out of pre-fight test, so to speak, out of competition, so to speak, and then on the day he failed the same test for the same substance. So at least it's not different substances, it's the one thing, so it's something that's reoccurring. I'm not shocked.
I don't think anybody's shocked. It's just disappointing. You know, it's disappointing that, like, that chance that we would see him again is now gone for at least 2 years. And to be honest with you, I don't think we'll see him again in the UFC.
He'll be 41.
Yeah.
He'll be 41 then. He'll still be a jacked up white guy. The thing, though, that Mark Hunt has done. But the first time he tested or came back, he went out there and said, right, I want half his purse. Then he retracted that statement and said, look, I want all the money. He said, I'm sick of fighting these cheaters. I'm sick of this happening. He said, Nevada Athletic State Commission shouldn't get the money. I should get the money. I'm the one in there, put my neck on the line. Now, after the second one's gone, he's saying, let's sort out a Fighters Association or Fighters Union or whatever, because I'm not scared of the UFC. He's saying that himself, because let's sort this out.
Yeah, and to be honest, he made a very good point, because something okay, so the result gets overturned and it becomes a no contest. That's okay. But like he said, against when he fought Bigfoot, now, okay, that was a 9-month suspension. He actually got injured in that fight and said that he was actually out. Bigfoot was actually able to fight sooner than he was. So you can't reverse injury, you know, and some of these injuries are longer lasting, you know what I mean? It's like some people say, oh yeah, you know, that shoulder's never been the same again, you know, and stuff like that. You can't reverse that. And I sympathize with Mark, and, you know, I think he's right.
I think, though, for Mark, he's probably just, he's having these messages he's putting out there, these tweets, and he probably just needs to step back and just relax for a minute, breathe and calm down. He's obviously having this, and maybe look at it and say, look, I want this to happen, and maybe come back with a stronger statement. He's pissed off, and rightly so, but yeah. Maybe, just maybe he needs to just come back with a more, how do I want to say it, not logical, more constructive answer back to it.
Yeah.
Again, I do love it when he tweets about how his reaction is, because I find it quite enjoyable and quite humorous.
Yeah,
but
he doesn't give a shit, does he?
No, I don't know what they're going to do with him in that regards to what happened with Brock. If they're going to even, because they don't, it's not. It doesn't go to USADA. It doesn't go to the Nevada either. It goes to like the state, like the state of Nevada, because people said, oh, why doesn't it go to the fighter? It's actually because the Nevada Athletic State Commission have regulations in. If you fail a test, you failed our rules, like our tests, like our, not our tests, like our rules. So you broke our rules. So your fine is this. But for Dana, he's sitting there thinking, I've not paid Brock Lesnar the money or pay-per-view money, etc. And they've saved themselves a packet from him failing the test. Like, Dana must be thinking,
yeah, it's, I can sympathise with Mark, how like he mentioned in an interview that he said that when he fought Bigfoot, he was Bigfoot got banned for 9 months, but Mark Hunt in that fight got injured, and Bigfoot actually ended up coming back and fighting before Mark Hunt. So even though Mark Hunt was the innocent party, because he got injured in a fight where somebody was
having a slight advantage, had a slight medical advantage.
Yeah, and I use that term lightly with Bigfoot, because he is probably the one guy in the UFC that actually does deserve a help with his testosterone because of his ungifted. He's got a.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, sure, Glenn. So the UFC are actually doing okay out of this, because they got to have Brock on the card. You know, it's happened. You don't go back in time and take him off the card. They're able to use Brock as a way of selling that fight card even more. Not that it needed an awful lot of help, but having him on that card definitely helped UFC 200. People got to see the fight, and you know, so you got ticket sales, you got TV sales. So that doesn't get taken, which rightly it shouldn't happen either, because the UFC haven't done anything wrong. It's all down to Brock. But you've got to feel sorry for Mark, and I hope that he does get compensated for this in a very healthy way.
Well, I'd say compensate, because it's not the first time he's, like, say, guys failed test on him. So it's one of them ones where he should be getting compensated. He got a loss again, so he doesn't get a win bonus, and that's like maybe the fee that he got though for the fight was probably a flat fee anyway if he won a loss, because he did get paid quite in packet. And I think that maybe he probably will get some maybe form of compensation. Helps keep him quiet a bit as well.
Yes.
Helps stop. That's the other thing.
Well,
the UFC will.
Another thing as well, it's time. It's trading for Brock, fighting Brock, and then recovering from Brock.
Yeah.
And yet it doesn't put another win on your record. So that's a chunk of time you've missed in possibly not much time he has left in his fighting career.
No, he hasn't yet. He's only got like so many fights left, and obviously that was a payday fight. It was an ideal fight for him in that sense. But again, financially, it wasn't the best thing for him. Probably not financially. Sorry, probably technically it wasn't the best thing for him. But maybe he thought that he wasn't going to get another title shot. Who knows? Another guy that failed a test was as he failed test. We knew that he had been flagged, but there was no punishment put in place, because obviously the procedures put in by USADA, eventually gets put through. Same with John Jones and Brock. That there's nothing set in stone yet, because you can not appeal, but there's that time lapse between the punishment and the flagging, because you flag it and then you get the punishment, etc. So Chad Mendes, 2 years out, bang, growth hormone. He just wanted to be that little bit taller. He was sick of being 5'4.5" and a midget, and he wanted to be 5 foot like a proper man.
I disagree. Do you know what? That's gotta hurt him. That's gotta hurt him. He's not on mega bucks. He earned well for his fight with Conor, but he's under $100,000. I think it's we spoke before, and I believe it was $82,000
he got.
Yeah. Now
his new contract he signed a new contract with the UFC. Like, I think it was an 8-fight deal, and I think 82,000. Obviously, 82,000 win bonus. 82,000, sorry, for the fight. I think it's a win bonus as well of 82,000. So
Yeah. I think the Conor fight was the only fight where there was no win bonus for him, but he was guaranteed a $500 pay, which
$500,000.
Do you know what? You don't mind scrubbing your win bonus when you're getting $500 for
$500,000.
Yes. Yeah, did I say $500?
Yeah, I would. Yeah.
Yeah. The UFC are not paying up to scratch at the moment. It's $500. Yeah, 500,000. Yeah, there's a few more zeros on there. We'll put another 3 on there.
Yeah, it's a shame.
So so 2 years out is painful
on his career, especially at his age, 31 years old.
Yes.
2 years, 33. That's a rough time to get it, And I think as well for Chad, he was at that point where he was in the top mix. Yeah, he lost to Frankie, but the thing was, they might have ended up doing him and Max Holloway. Now, I'm not saying he would have beat Max Holloway, but he would have got some good fights. He would have made money.
Still high profile. You're on the big cards because you'll probably get slotted onto. I mean, there's every chance you can be.
If he signed that fight contract with them, he obviously want to get the fights in, so he'll want to get that money. Now he's not going to make it. He's not going to make that money now from those fights. That's it. Out. You got to think 2 years where let's say he fought 6 times. I don't know. Let's say 6 times.
Say 3 fights a year. Yeah.
Yeah. Just round off.
That's a lot of 82s.
Yeah. It's just under $500,000.
Yeah.
Just under, and that's without any bonuses, as in any fight night bonuses.
That's just for turning up.
That's just turning up. Like, if he won them, obviously there's more, but he's missing out potentially on $500,000. Now, I'm not being funny. He ain't going to get that from coaching.
Yeah.
So I don't know what he's going to do now. I don't know what he's going to do now himself. Let's just assume that it's going to be a quiet 2 years for him. Probably just being just sitting in the back. Kind of like Gilbert Melendez has done with his time off. He had a time off, and
he was lucky. He squeezed onto the 9-monther, I think. So
yeah, he beat that. Like he beat the ruling, so to speak, Gilbert, and handful of fighters did. You know, it was
that 2-year ban. That's a serious deterrent now. You know, it's
not. It's not.
I think now that people are starting, but there's been a couple of high-profile names, and it'll be interesting to see. Just if it.
Yeah, it will be interesting to see if it sticks around, but it's not a deterrent because guys are still going to. Guys are going to keep.
Yeah, you'll always have those that will try.
Everyone will. Yeah, everyone's going to push that envelope, so to speak. But look, the Ultimate Fighter recently announced that they will have a flyweight competition. The winner gets to fight against Johnson. There was a big uproar because everyone was like, look, you can't have Joe Bloggs come off the street and go to fight. We know he's going to get destroyed. So then what they did was they scrapped it. They stopped all the qualifiers, not qualifiers.
They started to re-script it, shall we say.
Not yet. Yeah. So they restructured it and they basically went looking around other promotions, and they even said they were, and to basically get the champions from promotions, and they've done it. And they've got a handful of guys on, like for example, the favourite, and the guy's going to be favourite, sticking out like a sore thumb, is Tim Elliott. He's in there. He's in that mix. You've also got Matt Schnell, who was the interim title holder at Legacy FC. He's a solid fighter as well. So they have got a handful of guys from almost around the world. RFA as well. They got a guy from RFA. They got a handful of guys from different promotions, Ring of Combat, Shuto in Japan. Where else they got them from? I'm forgetting now. They've got a handful of places. I'm forgetting all the places, but they haven't got any European names, and that was a bit of a surprise. I thought they'd have maybe Lesota or Marin or Brett Casewell. I know they weren't the champions, but at the same time, having that European interest maybe would have been a good thing to do. They haven't. Maybe they have plans in the future to maybe bring them in, just not through tough, just bring them in anyway. But I like the idea. This Ultimate Fighter, Mike, for me, I actually will probably watch it. I would. I'm not asked about the Ultimate Fighter these days anymore. In fact, not a lot of people are. In fact, a very small amount of people are interested in the Ultimate Fighter these days.
Yeah.
Even from a journalistic perspective, that journalists don't even pay attention to it. And I don't think there's that much longer left in life in the Ultimate Fighter.
I think the fact that everyone's a champion from the organisation that they fought for, I think tells us that we've got every fighter is a serious fighter. We're not going to have somebody turning up, I would think, that's going to be on the piss and all the rest of it. To become a champion of
an organisation.
Their organisation are in. It shows that you're not flashing the pan. You're not coming to fuck around. You're actually there, and you were serious. You got to a title shot. You won the title, and now you say to yourself, "Hang on, this is now got me onto the brink of getting into the UFC, and not just the UFC, but to fight for the title." It's massive opportunity.
It is, and that's why I think I like the flyweight anyway. That's probably why I'll tune in. And I also like just the talent they've got in there for it. You're going to get quality fights because the champions, that's what makes the difference. Whereas before, you'd get fighters in there and they weren't great fights because they weren't that great. They weren't that polished.
Yeah, there's always one or two that are just there just to get on tough.
Now, I know there's some guys, some guys who'll be on as tough won't be the best finished article, but they'll be a far cry better than some of the guys that have been on before. So I like it for that purpose. But then again, I look at that show and I think, right, what do you want to do after this? What can you do next? I don't know how much life Tough has got. And I don't think they need the Ultimate Fighter, essentially. Anyway, I know it's like it's an extra revenue, but I wonder what the cost is to do it, to what they bring in these days, because the numbers they just go down. And I don't know. Maybe it's part of the deal they signed with Fox that they do the Ultimate Fighter. It's part of their deal. I don't know, but it's not.
I think we're tough. What happens is it goes into the homes, and they have an audience that watch Tough, that don't watch the UFCs at the weekends.
No. I agree, but I just think
so. It's another avenue for them.
It is, but I don't think the numbers of people that they get from the Ultimate
Fight... No. It has gone down.
It's not enough to warrant the new fans. But look, I'll watch it anyway. That's it.
Yeah. I'm curious. I'm curious to see how it... Because even if you ignore the fact that the winner fights for the title, you've got... Yeah. Just think, you've got a house full of champions fighting each other. Yeah.
It'd be fun.
There's something extra there.
It does. I think that a lot of guys, people on social media anyway, going to be tuning in, that they wouldn't have normally. Like a lot of people said, I would never normally watch this. I'm probably going to watch it now. So that says a lot about what they've done. The UFC though have got a card coming up this weekend. UFC Chicago. I personally don't think it's one of the stronger cards this year. It's probably one of the weaker cards they've had, but it's happening. Yeah. There's a handful of good fights, but it's not the strongest card.
I was going to say there's a few fights on there that have got my interest, but yes, on the whole, it's like, yeah. But
yeah, you've got British interest in the sense you've got Jim Elliott's against Jason Knight. Like Elliott's done really well from that perspective. He's done really good since injuries and delays, and he's been wanting to keep fighting. He's back in now against Jason Knight, and who I think is an ideal opponent in the sense where Jason Knight, who lost his first fight in a decision, but he just got outclassed. I think Jason Knight's still not at that top elite level yet, but he stepped in short notice, and kudos to him. He gets a reshot.
Heavily blooded in that fight as well. Cuts were just wriggled with him. I was cage-side for that one as well.
But I like the idea of the fight, the matchup, the fact that he's got another stab, and they kind of rewarded him, so to speak. To be fair, he held his own. So, look, Mike, for me, well, I don't know about you, whilst on not the main card, anything on the prelim and the prelims and stuff, or from the prelims down.
Where are we? Darren Elkins, I know I've jumped the gun a little bit, but Darren Elkins, he's been putting together quite a good little UFC career there. I think he took himself off to Team Alpha Male, was it?
Team Alpha Male has been training that. The thing as well, Darren Elkins, he's got a pace and a grind on people that it's crazy how much he can keep it up as well. He's got a very good conditioning in the grappling side of things. He can just keep it going. And where you start to tire, he's just still going and going. And
going up again.
He's got a certain style, and that's it. And it just works for him. Now, will it work for him with the top elite guys? Probably not. But where he is now, it will work just fine in that middle mix of the 155 division.
Exactly. I'm also...
Frankie signs against Eddie Wineland. That... I feel you're going to see someone go to sleep in that fight. Eddie Wineland, who I'm surprised he came back. He had that injury with his jaw, came back against Caraway, lost the decision. He's now against Frankie Saenz, who had that absolute crazy fight with Uriah Faber, where Uriah Faber rocked him in the first, gassed himself out, let's be honest, folks. And Frankie Saenz was coming back and basically had a slobber knocker. I could see one of the two getting finished in this fight. You know, Eddie's got legit KO power. That dude has got lightning fast hands, great hands. But the problem is, he can get clipped. He's open to getting clipped. And Frankie Saenz can take a hit, and he comes forward like a bull.
Yeah, very much so. I actually think Frankie's got that fight. I think the confidence that he would have got from the Uriah Faber fight, he can take that into this fight.
Yeah, I just feel as well that Eddie's probably on that downturn, or that's then kind of that part of his career where he's not. I don't look at him in title contention. I'm not thinking he's going to make that title run. He probably feels he's got it in him because he's still fighting, or maybe he just needs to pay bills or wants to get as much as he can out of it before he gets maybe released or he hangs his gloves up. But Eddie's been great. Eddie's been a fantastic fighter. I just don't feel that way. Let's go to the main card, Mike, because other than that, I'm not really fussed. If you're...
Well, I was going to add that we've got somebody coming back that we haven't seen for quite a while. Is Felice?
That's the main card, Mike.
Oh, right. Sorry. Is that the first of the main card?
Are you being silly again and not knowing the order of the card?
Possibly.
You're doing sheer dog.
No. I'm just on. Yeah. It's not saying where.
The order. It's fine.
But
Kaylin Curran is fighting Felice Herrig. Felice had been wild for a while. She lost her fight to Paige Van Zandt, and she got pretty much dominated the whole way. Didn't really get much out of it herself. She said that she burnt herself out, burnt her way through the Ultimate Fighter. It was just too much on the body, too much mentally, and she just was worn out by the time that fight came. Maybe I could agree with her. Maybe you can't, because Paige did look good in that fight. But anyway, Mike, she has had a bit of time off. What's your view on the fight coming up anyway with these two girls?
Felice. I don't feel that she has it at UFC level. She just doesn't seem. It's like she's just not strong enough.
Mike, when you say UFC level, I get a bit confused because these girls were all the same place, Mike. Yeah. So it's not like these girls were above Felice before. She's been around for a while, fighting top girls for a while. She's like a mainstay in the women's kind of strawweight division. It's not like she's new. She's been fighting all the top girls in Invicta.
I just worry because in the fight that she had with Paige, she just didn't. It's almost like she was a weight below. She just didn't seem strong enough to deal with, with her at all. She seemed. Like she came into that fight with a lot of experience, but nothing seemed to show.
Well, that's why I'm saying it's hard when she described what was going on externally. And so then I take that. I say, right, okay. Well, if that's the case, I'll give her I'll give her a chance. I'll say, right, okay. I won't assess her from that Paige Van Zandt fight. Then I'll maybe look at other fights and other performances and. Maybe just trying from that perspective, and she is a girl that's got a lot of ring time in a sense especially for a female strawweight.
Very experienced, yeah.
Now Curran is a girl who is literally a carbon copy of Paige Van Zandt, and I just think it's not the most ideal matchup for her in the sense of she's going to fight someone who does exactly the same almost as Paige Van Zandt. Now, I think Curran cracks a bit harder than Paige Van Zandt. But that's just my opinion, Mike, on that girl.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I just don't see Felice doing well in this fight at all, because even in the fight with Paige, she was losing from the very start. She had little success in the whole fight. Now, even if she is a bit burnt out, you would think there would be some success in the first round. She just got beaten on from the very start of the fight, and I think she will come unstuck again this time round.
Right. Okay. Then next fight, I'm actually looking forward to the heavyweight bout. Anyway, you've got a guy Bojan Mihajlovic. That'll do. Fuck it. Against Francis Ngannou now. Mike, what do you, for me, that heavyweight fight, I'm looking forward to the heavyweight fight myself, but what do you like about this matchup?
Yeah, so I do believe this was the one where we saw him fight Gonzaga.
Who?
Did he fight Gonzaga? The French guy. I'm not going to say the names.
No? Ngannou?
Is it not?
No, fought Gabriel Gonzaga, no? You mean Derek Lewis fought Gabriel Gonzaga?
Who am I thinking then?
Yeah, Derek Lewis fought Gabriel Gonzaga.
So who am I thinking of?
Mike, just because they're both black doesn't mean they're the same people.
They're both black? maybe it was on the same card then. Was it a European card?
Stop trying to save yourself, but carry on.
Yeah. Trying to dig up. I don't know. It's the heavyweights, isn't it? You know, am I going to be entertained? I'd sort of see another flyweight card on the fight on the card. To be honest with you, the heavyweights, risk putting them on the main card. I think, you know, if it doesn't entertain, it stinks, and you don't want to have a stinky fight on the main card.
I think I like the fact that Francis Ngannou has shown in his first two fights, that first fight he had against Luis Enrique, where he uppercutted him, put him to sleep. And he was getting really grinded on it. He showed good cardio for a guy with so much muscle mass. He showed really good conditioning in the sense that he was grappled in the first round, a lot of cage work and defense of takedowns, and he was still able to crack, like really crack him. And then in this second bout against Curtis Blades, and the way he cracked him in the face, blew that eye up. Like the fight got stopped because Curtis Blades' eye was just like a balloon. Shows the power this guy's got, and he's got good accuracy. He's very patient, very calm. He's had two fights now, so that kind of jitters well out the window, so to speak. He's fighting a guy's making his UFC debut. I think he'll probably take advantage. I look forward to seeing what kind of performance the guy can do. I think he's a really good addition. I think he's still raw in a lot of circumstances. I remember particularly in the Lewis fight where he was on the ground. He was in half guard, and he had the underhook, but he wasn't using the underhook how he should have done to get the escape, etc. But I look forward to seeing how that guy performs. Okay, Mike, I'm sure you'll want to talk about this one. Edson Barboza, Gilbert Melendez, go.
Yeah, so Edson Barboza, in his last fight, actually fought a very sensible fight. I'm trying to remember who he fought in his last fight. Anthony Pettis, exactly. He did exactly what he needed to do. He followed the blueprint, and fantastic.
What's the blueprint?
Oh, no, sorry, against Pettis.
Yeah, what's the blueprint?
Pressure. Don't give him that space.
Actually, the blueprint's to get him down the ground.
Yeah, well, yeah. Well, we all thought we were going to see like a kickboxing match. But Bosa, I like the guy. He's very, very watchable. Come out with a bit of a knockout when he needs to. Just ask Terry Etten. Mm-hmm. And he's coming up against Gilbert Melendez, who's a handful for anyone, but he's been out for a while with his ban. So if he tested positive, then we wonder how long has he been testing positive. How long has he been on the juice for? You know, is this the first time we've seen him clean in a while? So
yeah, you've got the as well with Gilbert. I don't worry about him being out for a while because of where he trains and who he trains with.
Yeah. And
the fact that you're training with the Diaz brothers, Jake Shields, just murderers and just top level guys.
And fantastic experience that he's got of his own career as well.
He's been one of the best 55ers for an extensively long time. He's been one of the best guys in the world for a very long time. He's one of the guys who can get away with being out for that 9-month period. And again, we say a long time, 9 months. It's not that long.
No, you go and get a shoulder injury or something, or
a fight can get an injury, exactly. Yeah, or a fight gets cancelled and then that's it.
It's probably not the first time he's been out for 9 months.
It's not his biggest concern. Go on.
Sorry, what I was going to say was it's being out and coming back, knowing that you've got to, pass a test. So if he has been on the juice.
When's Melendez going to have a weak fight? When's he going to get a no-one name? He's not going to get that. Anyone he fights is going to be in that top 10 at least, like at the most, top 10. If not top 7 in the lightweight division anyway. So I feel Edson Barboza is one of the guys who he just needs to do what he can do outside the cage, in the cage. If he can perform how he trains, he could be a world beater. He could be one of the guys in the top 3, top 2, potential champ. it's just bringing that to the cage. He's working with Mark Henry, who's obviously done the Eddie Alvarez, Frank Edgar. He's done a lot. He's been working with him a lot. It's made a big difference. I think that is part of what will make a difference in this fight, maybe, if he can be patient enough. But Mendes, he's got that grappling, really strong grappling. He's really quick at getting that strike into the grappling side of things to get the fight down. I like the matchup. I love the matchup. It's all dependent on if Edson Barboza can keep that range just so he can start to pick with his combinations. That's a lot. It's a tough fight. It is a fun-ass fight, to be fair. It's a great fight.
Oh, yeah. It's that's my pick for fight of the night on this card.
Okay, main event, Holly Holm, Valentina Shevchenko. Mike, what's your opinion on this bad boy matchup?
I love how Valentina, sorry. Yeah, there's no O.
No.
Valentina, how she sort of stays in there and she does come on strong, and being a 5-rounder, I'm very interested to see how she does. When she fought Amanda Nunes in the last fight, she was coming on like a freight train, in that last round, and now she's got an extra couple of rounds to work with. Fantastic for her. Holly Holm coming off a loss, and not a pleasant loss for her. So it'll be interesting. It's asked a lot of questions, and we'll actually get to see with Holly Holm, like, just where she's at, like.
Yeah, okay. Well, Valentina Shevchenko is a multiple world time Muay Thai champion, and Holly Holm is a multiple time boxing champion, K1 kickboxing success. So the matchup itself is what is
going to end up on the ground. Yeah.
Well, it could do, but the thing is, what makes this fight so interesting is, Shevchenko's got really high level Muay Thai, and she can literally rip up some combinations. The issue you've got is you're fighting Holly Holm, and Holly Holm is not a girl who likes to stay in that pocket area to exchange. She likes to get
good footwork on her.
And the thing was, what people aren't realizing is with Holly Holm especially. Sorry, like I said before, Holly Holm has that. She likes to keep that range. She likes to come off with a couple of shots, like in a Misha Tate fight. Now I know she's avoiding the takedowns of Misha Tate, but Holly Holm has got a very good camp behind it with very good game planning. That's the word I'm looking for. Game planning. Okay. Now, we've seen it once before, and I think you'll see the same kind of style again when she fought Reneu, where she just kept Reneu and nullified her. She kept the distance right. She just picked her off with a couple of shots, kept that range, used that side kick, that oblique kick to keep. She'll use that to keep Shevchenko away, because Shevchenko, thing with Muay Thai is she'll want that fight to be in that close quarters so she can crack those combinations, snap that leg kick in, even snap a head kick and body kick. And also what people need to know is Holly Holm, when she loses a fight, i.e. in boxing is the only time you can refer this to, when she lost the fight in boxing, she lost the title, she straight away wanted the rematch, got the rematch, came back and beat the girl's ass. Now, is that the same principle here? Is she going to go out? Okay, I lost my last fight, I'm back again. Straight away I want to fight. I want to get a rematch. Not a rematch, you can't get in this time, but I want to get back in straight away. And I want to, rectify my loss and get a win. That's the thing about Holly. And I can see 5-round fight as well. I know you talked about you said, Shevchenko's got 5 rounds. She came on strong against Amanda Nunes. 5 rounds, Holly Holm looked pretty good in her fight against Misha in the 5th round.
Yeah.
I think...
And also... That
plays a factor.
Well, my pick for this fight is actually Holly Holm. I think I think her footwork's just too good. I think that she'll be able to keep out of the way when she needs to.
Yeah, I think she just has those angles, that movement around, and she only lets off a couple of shots. She's not going to sit around, like I said before. She's not going to stay in that pocket area for Shevchenko to land. Now, I'm not saying she can't do it. Shevchenko could have a game plan in place where she's going to, maybe make Holly Holm do what she wants to do. But I'm just saying, if you looking at this footage of the fighters, and when I look at the pair of them fight, I look at their styles, I can just see that happening. I can just see a five-round decision for Holly Holm of just being patient, picking patience, and that's and if the opportunity arises for her to finish the fight, she will, but she's not going to push it to happen.
Yeah, I think you'll probably see Holly on the back foot quite a lot in this fight, but in a positive sense, in how she does, similar to the Ronda Rousey fight, but obviously I see.
She was kind of like that in a Misha fight. She was like that in a Misha fight. She is quite on the back foot.
She can be very aggressive on the back foot.
It's just her style, She likes the counter strike.
Yeah. I love it. I think it's beautiful when she does it.
And the thing is, Shevchenko, she likes to sometimes counter as well, so it could nullify each other out. It could turn to a bit of periods where it's just quiet, so to speak, in the fight, where they're just taking their time to outsmart each other and outmaneuver. But look, I'll be keeping eyes on it. I'll be watching it. I'll be enjoying that fight. It's like I say, it's not the best card, but it's a couple of good, interesting fights on the card.
Yeah.
And
they're quite spread out. It's not like all the good fights are on the main card or all the good fights are on the on the prelims. It's quite spread out. So
no, there's like 2 fights on the prelims and the rest is all on the main card. And
no, sorry. What I mean is the fights that I'm interested in they're not all clumped together. So.
No, they're not. Look, that's UFC Chicago, but that's this week with us, and we'll be back next week after the UFC Chicago card, because you've also got UFC 201 coming up, which doesn't have Demetrius Johnson in, which is a shame, but it has got Robbie Lawler. Awesome. Mr. Ian McCall is fighting on that card as well. He opens up a pay-per-view event against Justin Scoggins. Interesting fight there. And look, we'll be back next week. Enjoy watching fights. Enjoy training if you do it, folks. And if you don't, have a great week anyway.